First video, and today we're going to be talking trading cards. First, we'll get into how I got into trading cards, what I've learned. I've only been collecting for the last few weeks, but it's been pretty fun so far. I think in the past month or so, I've probably collected over 500, 600 cards, give or take. I've been to 2 card shows and 1 trading night. So those were pretty fun experiences. Learned a lot, so we'll dive in quickly about what I've learned and where I plan to go with the hobby. First, I'll go into detail about how I got started. So a few weeks ago, I was actually in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine, and there was a table somewhere in a hotel, right? And they had a few pieces of memorabilia. They had a Pele jersey signed. They had some Tiger Woods memorabilia, and they had a handwritten lyric sheet, right, that she sort of wrote herself when she was writing a song. And so, I bid on that. It was sort of like a silent auction. Put your name down and a number, and I ended up not winning. Right, I had to leave before the auction was over. Probably before the end of the week or so. So I don't know how long the auction ran, but all I know is I didn't get the call, so I didn't win. And from there, the following week, I ended up going to a gala. At the gala, there was another silent auction. So they had a Baker Mayfield autographed football, I think, and they had a New York Giants football that had signatures of all the players, but they were sort of stitched in, right? They were inscribed into the football. So there was, Joe Shane's signature, there was Cam Scatterboo's signature, Wan'Dale Robinson, who's now on the Tennessee Titans. But there were a ton of signatures from the guys in the team. And so I actually ended up winning that for $200. And from there, I was like, you know what? I think I need some more physical memorabilia. So, I went home and just started brainstorming, what can I get, right? So I started looking at Super Bowl tickets. Then I started seeing that, things were graded and whatnot. And so then I sort of landed on trading cards. And then from there, I sort of collected some things that I like, right? So the first 2 cards that I bought were 2 FAMU players, right? Which is my alma mater. It's where I went to school. And I'll show you guys right here in a second. These right here, these were my first 2 cards. Marquise Bell and Isaiah Land. We do have 2 other players in the NFL, but they didn't have any trading cards, so I didn't get theirs. But these were my first 2 cards. I think, Isaiah Land is actually numbered to 149. Good. Yeah, to 149. So that was pretty cool, and they both are autos, right? And so from there, I sort of learned about what the different cards were. So obviously you have, RPAs, you have autos, you have bazookas, you have prisms, mosaics, and everything else, uptown, downtown. And it's obviously a lot to learn. I don't know everything. When I went to a trading night, the kid asked me, is this, card numbered? And I was like, yeah, I think. And it just said number such and such, but it wasn't numbered an actual fraction. So I thought it was numbered, but it actually wasn't. So still learning. Since I've started, I've probably been to about 7 different card stores here in South Jersey. Luckily for me, I think I live near a ton of card stores, so I live 25 minutes or less from 6 or 7 different card stores. So that's pretty good for me. I'm able to just go into a place and dig. There's a place 13 minutes down the road from me. I only make one turn, and I go straight down and it's there. So a lot of card stores are super accessible, where I live. So that makes it also fun. And they all host events, maybe a second Saturday or first Saturday or whatnot for trade nights or things like that. So it's been pretty fun so far. And now I'll go into some of the best pickups I think I've had so far. All right, quickly, we'll go through my 3 favorite pickups so far. So they're all rookie cards, all NBA rookie cards. And I'll just show them here. Well, we'll go through each card and why I think it's pretty dope. So we'll start with Dwayne Wade, obviously. My favorite player right here, D Wade. Look at that looking alike. Crazy. D Wade, right? So this is contemporary collection. I actually got this at my first card show, Bordentown. Only 25 minutes away from me, which is really dope. It was $15. I'm pretty confident if this gets graded, it has to be no less than 8. It's pretty tough because it's a rainbow, has sort of that rainbow-like effect here. and you know, I think it's something I'd have to look at under the light just to make sure like there's no scratches or anything on here. But I mean, the quality is great. The One Touch has a few scratches on it, but that's the One Touch. D-Wade is my favorite player, has been. I grew up in Miami, you know, witnessed all the championships, not in person, but from my TV. And so that's hands down my favorite card, number one. Number two, Gary Payton rookie card right here. That's dope. That's just dope. I just think this is like a magazine cover. Like, it's just a super dope card. You know, I know people don't go crazy over, you know, the guys that's not in their team jersey, right? Like, most people want the rookies or the players in like the team jersey, which is fine. But personally, I like when the players have either their college jerseys or are sort of suited for the draft, right? So like, this Kawhi Leonard, where he is a San Diego State, like, to me that's dope. I like this LeBron James, St. Vincent, St. Mary. Like, I think that's pretty dope, right? But those two cards aren't factored into my favorite cards. So my final favorite is one I actually just picked up last week. Well, this week. No, it was last week. It's Kevin Durant. Rookie card right here. Got this at Card Capital in New Jersey. Pretty dope. I've been there like 5 times already in the last few weeks since going for the first time. But this card I think was like $8 or so. Dope card. I'm trying to start a rookie card collection, right? So I got the Gary Payton, I got the Kevin Durant, I got the Dwayne Wade, I got like 6 or 7 LeBrons, both from high school, so from St. Vincent, St. Mary, and from the Cavs. You know, I got Kawhi Leonard, I have Jimmy Butler, I really need Steph Curry, I got Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, and I think that might be it for basketball, and then like some 1B and stuff like that, right? But you know, I know rookie cards are like a thing, you know, in card collecting, but I think I just like them because the cards just look different, and they got a different type of aura, right? Like, we know what Kevin Durant looks like now, but it's like, this is 2007, right? It is 2007. That's 2007 Kevin Durant. All right, so that's pretty dope. Just being able to have those pieces and know like what those guys looked like, and that people were betting on them even in this era, right? At this time period, to say like, oh, people were betting on these guys even then, and 20 years down the line, these guys are still some of the greatest players to ever play. So, you know, I think the whole sport itself is dope. I think in future videos I'll sort of break down you know, how I buy the cards, how I choose. I haven't sold anything yet. I don't know, like, I've listed some things on eBay just because I bought a few lots and I'm trying to get rid of some cards, but I don't know if I'll actually just get into like the whole flipping part of the hobby. It seems pretty tedious, and I think I like a ton of the cards that I get. Like, when I get a card, I just went to one trade night, and it's like I didn't want to give up any cards. I'm like, kids ask me like, what about this card? What about that card? I'm like, no, not that one either. Not that one. So I kind of got to get into the groove of actually just getting cards and maybe recycling them, or not being so attached to them, knowing that, okay, if I want something, I could just get it or I could trade for it. So that's a part of the sport too, I guess, why it's called trading cards. But yeah, in the next couple of videos, I'll sort of break down like, you know, which places I visited, you know, what they're like, what each place is like good for, and sort of like what I've learned so far on top of, you know, what I've given you all in the first video. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty dope. I'm having fun with it. I just picked up a few Lamine Yamal rookies. Picked up a Mbappe rookie at the show this weekend, and I just recently bought a Jalen Hurts auto. So yeah, in the future videos, I'll do more of a deep dive into like where I go and some other things. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the first video. Holla.